We'd like to welcome you to the inaugural Hall of Fame Order of the Owl celebration, the first event of its kind for the College of Law at the University of Oklahoma. And when I look around, I see all the faces and all the people that I'd hoped to have when we first imagined this evening. So welcome to the evening, and thank you so much for being here. And thank you all. I think a testament to the fortitude and determination of our College of Law alumni and friends is the fact that you made it here braving tornadoes and storms and floods and earthquakes and falling meteors. But you've all made it here, and we couldn't be happier to have you here. I want to begin with a few introductions, and as one of our honorees, DeVere Pearson, told me, it's one of the most dangerous things any person can do is to engage in introduction, because there's no logical terminus for such things. But I would start by, first of all, and there'll be a more thorough introduction of him a little later, as you might imagine, but introducing our president and OU College of Law grad from the class of 1968, President David L. Boren. There can't be many, if any, other flagship law schools in the country that have both the president and first lady as alumni of their institutions. And we are in that proud position. We sit in her ballroom. She is a graduate of the class of 1974. She was one of the first female judges in the history of the College of Law. She was the first woman to sit on the board of trustees of the Oklahoma Bar Foundation. She's First Lady of the University and a very dear friend. Please welcome Molly Shy Boren. It is our honor to have a number of former regents that are here with us this evening, and I'd like to introduce them. The first one is former Regent Christy Everest and her husband Jimmy. I haven't seen him yet, but I saw him earlier. Former Regent Melvin Hall and his wife, Alicia. Former Regent G.T. Blankenship, class of 1954, and his wife, Libby. Former Regent Sarah Hogan and her husband, Dan. Former Regent Dan Little, class of 1968, and his guest, Celia Abrams. He was class of 1968. Former Regent Judge Tom Brett, the class of 1957, College of Law, and his wife, Mary. I'd also like to introduce Vice President for University Governance, Chris Purcell, and her son, a 2011 grad, Michael Purcell. We have two members of the governor's cabinet that are here this evening. The first one is my high school classmate and Secretary of State Glenn Coffey. Secretary of Human Resources and Administration, Oscar Jackson. State Senator Sean Burridge. He was just elected State Senate Caucus leader this afternoon. Congratulations. A 2L student of ours and State Representative Emily Virgin. Chancellor of Higher Education, Glenn and Melinda Johnson. I want to recognize a couple of groups, and they're in your programs, but the first one, which has been so much help, and I inherited Andy Coach Group and couldn't have done better. I'd like to welcome and ask that all members of the Board of Visitors of the College of Law to please stand and be recognized. There are two more special groups that I want to recognize. The first one is we established 2 annual giving societies this year, the Leadership Circle and the Second Century Scholarship Program. They have been tremendous help in this first year, making opportunities available to our students. I'd like to ask all of them to stand along with the students who are scholarship recipients from them that are here this evening. Please stand and be recognized. This became dicey, but I'm going to attempt it as a group, which is very bold from a lawyer. But I would like to, at this time, ask all of the members of the state and federal judiciary, which includes both trial and appellate level, to please stand and be recognized. Two more introductions. Would like to introduce 2 former deans that are here, Dean Emeritus Andy Coates and Dean David Swank. And finally, I would like to introduce and thank my wife Samia for all that she has done to help make this evening possible, and also my parents that are here as well. If all 3 could please stand. All right. If I left anyone out, I am sorry, and I'll make up for it later. This is exactly what I had pictured in my mind's eye. I'm so excited that everyone is here. And the genesis of this dinner really took place over the last the last 12 months. About 12 months ago, I started this and went on a tour of alumni events across our state and across our country. And when I did, I went in equipped with a list of superlatives and accomplishments by our College of Law. I went in and I could recite my list of how many OU College of Law alumni had accomplished big things. I could tell you how many had become a United States Senator, how many had become judges, how many had become justices. I could tell you a number of folks in the House of Representatives from the College of Law, those that are CEOs, those that have accomplished great things in the private and public sectors. And I had all of, in the first woman justice, right? First woman to be a federal trial level judge. All of those individuals that came from the OU College of Law, and I came to realize as I went around the state, and I went to events, and I had the opportunity to go to Tulsa. Jim Sturdivant and Judge Brett hosted me in Tulsa, had a great group in Tulsa. Went to Oklahoma City where Judge Thompson and Justice Taylor hosted an event. We went to Dallas, Houston, Washington, D.C. We've been to Duncan, Lawton with Mike Mayhall and company. We've been to D.C., across the country, and I came to realize that this event was important because what I came to realize is there are things that are common to all of us that are OU College of Law alumni and friends. And it isn't the individual achievements. What I came to realize are 2 things. First of all, there are common stories that take place. There are common stories everywhere I go where you hear 3 things that would occur. You hear about those memorable moments that we all have, that all OU College of Law alumni have, that reside in high definition in your memory. Your first day of orientation and the abject fear that you had. The first class you went into. The first time you were called on in class. And I don't care if you're C.D. Northcutt or if you're Michael Purcell, regardless of age, 95 to 25, it's the same images that are seared into your mind. The second thing were the professors that helped shape you. Fundamentally important. The same names always come up. Tiger Frazier, Eldridge Phelps, Maurice Merrill, Fred Miller. It's those common names that every group has in common. And then finally, among those 3 things, it's the personal friendships. It's the friendships that can only be forged under the force of 3 years in law school, and how those friendships last forever, throughout your lifetime. I also learned the common themes that occur. Common to all of us, common to all alumni and friends. And it's those themes that occur. And occasionally you'd hear about generations of members of the family that went to OU College of Law. You'd hear about someone who could trace their family heritage back to the first 3-year graduating class of 1912. But more commonly what you hear is that OU Law provided the first for so many. The first person in their family to get a law degree. In many cases, the first person to go past high school. They went to the OU College of Law and received their education. You also hear that they're the first in their community, or first in their culture, first in their tribe to ever get a law degree, and how that occurred. You then hear about the opportunities that going to OU law provided. And you hear two sorts of opportunities. First, the obvious, which is opportunities provided in their life because of OU College of Law. And the next and more important thing is you hear what they were able to do for others because they had a law degree from the OU College of Law. And what you realize from all of this are a couple of things. First of all, we are a community, and we should gather together. And second of all, that we should realize the fundamental importance of having one of the nation's top public, underlying public law schools in the country accessible to us. That this is our heritage. And how many among us wouldn't have had the opportunity to go to school, to go to law school, without a great public law school? And in every crowd I go to, whether it's a group or individual setting, there are individuals that would not have had the chance but for a great public law school. We have a heritage built on 102 years. 102 years. And seated among you right now, at almost every table, is a student, the next generation of OU Law alums. And they are talented, they are record-setting, they are energetic, and they are extremely, extremely talented. Also among you is the current generation of faculty. The Tiger Frasers, the Eldridge Phelps, the Maurice Merrills. The Kuntzes are among you, and they're educating our next group. I'm floored by the desire and the interest and the energy of our alumni. I'm floored by how excited you are and how much you help out our students. When I first came, I thought, the first thing I'm going to ask for are funds. And the truth of the matter is, the greatest thing is the energy and talent that you put into this. If you stop by the College of Law anytime this semester, not only do you see a great education happening in the classroom, not only do you see competition teams, not only do you see students working on clinics, but if you walk in, you will see on any given day our alumni there. You'll see Judge DeGiusti holding court just there a couple of weeks ago. You'll walk through there, and you'll see Henry Hood or Lyndon Taylor talking about being a general counsel in an energy company. You'll see Tom McDaniel there. You'll see Justice Taylor talking about ethics. You'll go through and you'll see the energy of our alumni involved. And so that's why we're here tonight. We're here tonight to honor the pillars of our community, to honor four who have made it so possible for everyone else. We're here to gather as a group, and finally, we're here to thank you for all that you do for the College of Law and for the next generation of students and the next generation of students that come after that. And there's no finer example of who we are and what we hope to produce in our College of Law than our next speaker, who will bring you a welcome. President David Bourne from the class of 1968. He is the longest-serving president in the Big 12. He is the second, so far he's not big on seconds, he's the second longest-serving president in the history of the University of Oklahoma. He is in his 18th year, remarkably 18th year as president of the University of Oklahoma. He displays an unparalleled energy. It's a very good start. He displays an unparalleled energy. He is someone that is a visionary. I once heard him described as having panoramic vision. He does, and we are so fortunate to have him as our president. Please welcome the OU College of Law graduate, David L. Bourne.